Guys and gals, Mr. Fix-It here today. We're going to teach you how to rebuild a toilet. Did you ever walk into your bathroom and you can just hear the toilet? Come here, I'll show you. In this particular home, you can hear it. And if it never shuts off, what's happening is your water is just constantly filling this tank, and the tank is just taking the water into the overflow, and it's just non-stop water run, non-stop water run. You might as well turn on your shower. So what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you how to rebuild this toilet to stop that. A lot of times it's your flush valve, a lot of times it's just the flapper. I'll change it all just to make sure it's all taken care of. So we'll start with step one in just a second. So what we're going to do first is we're going to shut the water supply off to the toilet. And how we do that is right here. Every toilet should have one of these. If you don't, you're going to have problems. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? Lefty-loosey is going to open the valve. Righty-tighty shuts the water off. So now the water supply will stop coming up and filling into the bowl. The next thing you need to do, the tank. Next thing we're going to do is we have to empty the tank of this water, because what we're going to be replacing today here is the flush valve, and we're going to replace that flapper. And I might even just replace this, although the handle looks like it's in good condition. We don't necessarily need to change out the handle. The handle looks fine, but I will change out that flapper and change. We'll make that all good. So flush the toilet. All your water is going to go down. You want to get as much of it out of this tank as possible. You're not going to get it all out. There's always going to be some residual down there. Okay, so that residual, how we're going to get that out will be when we remove the connections down here. So now the first connector hose is this right here is your water supply. That's the first. And there's always going to be residual water. Always have a little bucket here to catch everything. The next to come out is definitely going to be water in here when we do this. So you unscrew these nuts. Now a lot of times you can see how I'm doing this without even tools. I'm pushing down on the flush valve up here. I'm pushing down so that not all the water escapes when I loosen this up right off the bat. I'm going to try to catch it the best I can. It's difficult. But you're going to unscrew this nut. I don't know if you can see under there. Unscrew this white nut. All right, once it's completely unscrewed, you can pull this valve straight right up and out. And then try to catch the water. And here comes the water. So you can see I just pulled the valve completely out. We caught the water that was residual in there. There's your old flush valve. Now how a flush valve works, it's pretty simple. This should have a hose here that would normally feed into this tube. What happens is the water supply comes into the system, sprays out these holes right here and fills your tank. And then this hose that's spraying water goes in here and fills the bowl part of it. And what happens is that water rises, it triggers this little mechanism. It's a switch basically. This little float goes with the water and clicks and shuts off right here. And this system is all a switch system in there. Shuts it right off. No more water. And this is adjustable right here. These are always not as easy as they seem. This little piece lifts up right here, the sleeve, and this is adjustable. They go up and down. And that's how you can adjust the size that you need to come into the depth of the tank. And it's also adjustable here on the float so that if you need to really make an adjustment so that the water only comes up so high. But we'll get into that as I put in the new one. I shouldn't even have to adjust the new one. So we're going to take that piece out, pop the flapper clicks right out. You can see how easy. Those two little nabs just click right out. You pull it off your handle. Okay. Now, your new pieces that you're going to get are very simple pieces. You get them anywhere, Home Depot in particular. Here is a combination kit that gives you the fill valve and the flapper. Now the flapper, I like to get the adjustable. You can see here there's numbers 1 through 9, or max and min. And this will allow your tank, when you flush it, it'll determine the amount of time the flapper will stay open. So a lot of times you have a flapper that you go up and it closes so fast, not enough water is released and the tank just doesn't flush enough, and you just can't, and you get a lot of backed up toilets that way. This can be adjusted, and you'll soon see how we can do that. So I'm going to unpackage everything I need, and we'll get right back to it. So I took out the fill valve, and there's a few pieces that come with it. But we'll start here with the fill valve. The first thing I want to do is I want to adjust this thing because it sits way down. There's a deep toilet, there's an older toilet. So I kind of want to bring this fill valve up like what I was talking about before about this adjustment. So we're going to bring it up. And we want to bring it up just so this probably just falls just underneath the lid here. So I'm probably at the right size. This is probably good enough. So you lock that where you want it and then pull this sleeve right down and it locks it into place. Next thing you want to do is you got a little rubber washer here, okay? This little lip is going to go down into the hole. So you're going to go flat side to flat over your threads. Guys, this is so simple it isn't funny. This simple little repair right here to your toilets will save you so much money, especially in rental properties. What a lot of people don't understand. What a lot of people don't understand, you own a rental property, you may not go in it and do these inspections, so your tenants aren't going to tell you when your toilet's running. And they're not going to tell you when your sink isn't shutting off. The basic, simple little things that you can do to save water. This stuff, I'm telling you, and when you have a rental property and you got a tenant that just lets it go all month, watch what happens to your water bill. So you place this thing very simply with that rubber gasket in place, washer. And what I like to do is keep the fill hole here facing where it's going to go. And then you just take your white nut and simply from underneath screw that back on. Doesn't get any easier than this, guys. I mean, you don't even need tools. Now, of course, you want to snug it on. Don't just assume you just got to torque it one little time. You want to put it on and make sure that there's a good little snug there. The second thing you can do right away is just go ahead and reconnect your water feed. Make sure you don't strip your threads on these guys. This is all plastic stuff, so make sure when you're threading these on that it's actually going smooth and you're not cross-threading. It's the last thing in the world you want to do is cross-thread. So you snug these bad boys right up, nice and tight, with your hand tight, okay? Now, we'll come back up here, and very simply, we'll take this flapper, and your flapper, you want to just go ahead and snap it right into place with two little nubs there that goes onto, and then make sure you got a good chain. You want to measure your chain. You see where this handle's going to go, so you kind of want to see, is this chain going to be long enough? Will the handle lift it up high enough? So I think we're at a pretty good place right where it sits, because that's as far as this is going to go anyways. So we'll make an adjustment with the flapper to see if we need to leave it open or closed any longer or a shorter period of time. Okay, now we have the fill tube, okay? This fill tube, again, this one is also adjustable. You can adjust the amount of flow that goes into your tube here that fills the bowl by this. If you notice that there's too much water going in the bowl, you can slow this down by just simply rolling this ball up, and it closes the tube tight. What it does, it just closes down on it and it makes it so less water can come out. So we're gonna go ahead and leave this wide open for now. We're gonna plug this right in to here. You can see these things just open and close. We pinch, put that tube on relatively tight. This actually slides out of the way. And there's your tube. Turn this in a direction you can use. And then this side goes into this